Welcome to the Daily Review. This is Razak, Senior Trading Strategist here at CMTrading, and today is May 23rd, 2025, and today is Friday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, British pound pushes higher and close to making new yearly highs. But first, looking at today's major economic events. So we have at 2:30 South African time from Canada, retail sales numbers coming out. Now looking at the market, starting out with the Forex symbols, the euro gets a bounce and shifting over to the indices. The Dow Jones and the NASDAQ unchanged. Summer is almost here. Sell in May and go away is almost there. So looking at commodities, gold gets a nice bounce, and looking at the stocks, really trading sideways, slight gains. And lastly, looking at cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin holding on to its gains of all-time new record highs. But let's take a look at markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So here we go, starting out with the Euro USD. Now, it's not a big move. It's not something to write home about, but you do need to cover it. We got about a 30 pip bounce, okay? But we are trading in a very tight range. But the highlight of this is, will this catch up to the British pound? And that's really what I want to speak about. So let's take a look at that. British pound is on its resistance level. It pushed higher earlier this morning. Question is whether or not it's going to continue pushing higher here and making new record highs new yearly highs, not all-time record highs, okay, as it pushes above 134.69. Now, we may get a correctional move. That may happen at this level. The dollar is going to get stronger if the U.S. markets get weaker, and that's something to look at, okay? It's all these variables you have to keep in mind. Now, looking at the Japanese yen, yes, it did gain a little bit as well, so we saw some gains here as well. Now, looking at commodities, gold gets a decent bounce here, but again, we're trading in a range, nothing really trending, okay? So you want to play it very, very simple. There was no entry level here or exit level here. I'm just covering it just for us to cover it. It may potentially develop into a trade as it gets closer to this upper range, or maybe if it sells off. But right now, I wouldn't touch it because it's really not trading with some serious character, okay? Even in a range, it's not trading with a character because there's a range above this area of 33.41. Lower range is somewhere around 3,200. Okay, that's really where my my levels are. Okay, and we're going to be trading sideways. So it may move a little bit higher and then move a little bit lower, and then it may move a little bit lower and then move a little bit higher. You know, like there's no rhyme or reason at this stage for gold. Okay, so I'm not going to delve into it too much. Now, looking at the Dow Jones, yes, we got that sell off the previous day, and we didn't really have anything following up to it. Okay, we are at the end of May, and generally speaking, when you're at the end of May, you sell and you go away, and sure enough, you know, that's exactly what's happening. Looking at the tech stocks also, they did sell off, and this is probably a good place for people to take money off the table as things have kind of recovered. Not completely, but recovered after those tariff things that Donald Trump decided to put out. Now, looking at the certain stocks, okay, Facebook did have a little bit of a red day, while Microsoft had a little bit of a red day as well, but Apple had a little bit of a green day, but nothing really to write home about. There's nothing really standing out and saying, okay, buy this or sell this at this stage, okay? The one thing I do want to look at is Google, because Google had a massive day the previous day, and the question is, it didn't follow through, and it's below that 200-day moving average on a 4-hour chart. Let's take a look at that daily. It's holding right above it, okay? So this is super important because if it could hold above it, it may take off to the upside. So keep that in mind. But if it closes in and breaks it, you know, it might shift just lower. Okay, so just keep this in mind as a possible trade. Now, lastly, looking at Bitcoin, yes, we'd hit all-time record highs the other day, but it's retracing off of it. Okay, we're about 700 points away from it, but it's retracing. It doesn't have that momentum to push us higher, which I'm a little bit concerned about. All right, so with that said, just keep in mind that we may get a correctional move at these levels potentially. So you want to keep this on the radar. And if you do get a potentially corrective move, you want to gauge how much of a correction it is. Is it a massive correction or is it just a retracement? Okay, so it's a little bit hard to say at these stages because Bitcoin has had additional volume come in. So there may be some, besides some investors, personal investors, some institutional money that's holding up that particular asset. So that's something to keep in mind as well. This is Fred Razak, and I wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.